Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air, Season 4, Episode 37. So, I know I've been saying I have a special episode, and that's because I keep getting them. As long as I keep getting them, I'm going to keep showing them. And yesterday I had the great privilege to hang out with and help out a little bit with the neighbors, Zaida and James Pavlovsky, and their preparation for a Tamalada. So a tamalada is, and I know my Spanish is horrible. I don't want to hear it. A tamalada is um, an event. Let's call it a cultural event where people get together and they make tamales. So tamales is a huge cultural item that is done across many households across Latin America, and it is something that is usually done with big groups, and it's celebrated with a ton of people, and they make tamales for their family and friends. Well, this is a smaller version of that. Yesterday, and we were only doing part one. So part one for Zaida and James is that they prepare a chili sauce that has four different types of chilies in it, garlic and onions, and they go through a process that I helped out a little bit with to prepare that chili sauce in or for the masa. Now, masa is basically just dough from cornmeal that is used in husks to make the tamales. Now, you'll learn about that part in part two when we come back in November and actually make the tamales part. This part is simply the making the chili sauce. We call it a chili sauce, and it still took about quite a few hours, and we got it done. But I am going to first we're going to watch our trash in the hood, and then we're going to come back and watch the tamalada preparation part one. I'll call it with Zaida telling James and I what to do, and we got it done yesterday. So let's go first to trash in the hood. This is week 63 for those of you that have been calculating and monitoring of me picking up trash when I walk around the hood. So let's see week 63, and then we'll come back and get back to the tamalada. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, week 63. Alright, so here is day 2, week 63. You see the normal amount of cigarette butts, plus we have some cigarette boxes, a bunch of beverage containers, and then just a lot of little bits and pieces of stuff. Looks like the lawnmowers hit a lot of different places on Hatch and El Salito, and so it churns this up, stuff that's been buried. But underneath it all is a very large piece of cardboard that was part of some garage sale or something. So here's day 3, and you see day 3 has an unbelievable amount of cigarette butts. Again, crushed cans and water bottle lids, and again more stuff underneath. This was a like an HEB recycling but grocery bag type of thing, which was funny because it said 100% recycling, but yet someone took the time to throw it on the ground. So that was unfortunate. Now this is day 5, which was quite interesting. I only had 16 cigarette butts, which was a surprise. Mini liquor bottle, half bag full of Skittles. Luckily I don't eat Skittles. So I didn't even try to see if they were any good. I just tossed them. And then another bag. So I'm finding bags left and right, or I found bags left and right this week. It was very unfortunate. Okay, everyone. So now this is it. So we got Trash in the Hood, which, by the way, I want to thank everybody who has been sending me some great feedback and great kudos and congratulations for doing it. Mostly on Nextdoor, but a couple of comments here on my Javier in the Air YouTube channel, which, by the way, welcome to those who first time come across this channel, and for those of you who have been watching over the years, keep watching. So the it's been interesting. Not only the people that actually go out of their way to say thank you, but interesting to see how some things have not changed. So I've been doing this for 63 weeks now, which means what? Which means 1 year and 11 weeks, which means 1 year and almost 3 months. So in that time, sadly, I've seen an increase of cigarette butts, a lot of water bottles, which makes sense since it was a really hot summer. It doesn't make sense that they're littering, but it makes sense as to why I'm seeing more of them. Also, some crazy stuff. So, I have been collecting some of the more unusual items that I've been finding over the past 63 weeks, and here in a couple weeks, I might have a project that I'll show online as to what I'm going to do with those particular objects. So it is unfortunate, but again, once again, I want to thank everybody who has stopped and taken the time to thank me for doing this. It's been interesting, and I'm going to keep doing it. So there you go. Now, let's get to the one that everybody's been waiting for. This is Zaida and James Pavlovsky's Tamalada, part 1. So Zaida and James Pavlovsky are my neighbors. They live just down from me. I met them right away, the first couple of weeks, I think, that I moved in here. And I've been living here in Cedar Park, Texas, for about a little over 9 years now, and lived in this house for a little over 9 years now. And it's been great. It's been fun. You've seen all the projects that I'm doing on there, but I got to do something like meet great neighbors like James and Zaida. So for them, they are on the go all the time. Great people, and they do great things. And one of the things they do is this Tamalada. So for those of you who may not know, like I said earlier, Tamalada is a little bit of a cultural event, a little bit of a just tradition, a little bit of a lot of different things that come together for people who want to make tamales. Now, for people who have only bought store-bought tamales, you're missing out. For people who have never eaten tamales, you're missing out. Now, I don't eat as many as I used to when I was a kid because, for every one I eat, I gain 5 pounds. But they are fantastic. Each is unique, I feel, when they're homemade, which is rightfully so. Each person has their own family recipe that does it a certain way, does that a certain way, and so all that. And it's very, very interesting and exciting, and a great time is had by all. Whether it's simply 3 people like it was for us yesterday, or maybe 60 or 70 people that get together in a big family tradition and make the tamales all for everyone in their family and friends. Now, if you partake, you should be able to get a dozen or so. Now, some people go huge and have a huge amount of the masa because they make a large amount of tamales. So, like I said earlier, you're going to see that part in part 2. But what I'm going to do here, this is part 1, and for Zaida and James, this is making the chili sauce. They make the chili sauce, which then they will be adding to the masa at that time when they actually fill out the corn husk. What does corn husk have to do with anything, you say, because you don't know what tamales are? Be sure and check back in November. Well, actually, watch all my shows, but in November we'll watch and see part 2. So here is part 1 of preparation for the overall Tamalada at James and Zaida Pavlovsky's house with Zaida. I did say James and Zaida, right? James and Zaida making traditional sauce October 7th, 2023. And we're going to see all the videos of them making it with the little word in by me, but mostly all run by Zaida. So take it away, Zaida.
Cut them down the middle. And we take them, open them up, we take all the seeds out. And this we do for all the peppers because we don't want any seeds in there. Doesn't add a good flavor to the chili sauce. Once
Okay, and then what do we do with it?
Gotta make sure all the seeds are out.
Oh, a bunch hiding up in the corner.
Yeah. And I just looked, and they're not that. This isn't doing any damage to my nails, so I'm
That's
happy.
good. But it's already coloring your gloves.
Yeah, it's coloring my gloves, and we used thin gloves last year. It didn't work out. They used clean chili.
All right.
And we're doing it to all of them. The membrane is not so important, but under it may be a seed.
Okay.
That's it. And here's our chilies that we've done so far.
Nice. All right. Step
That's
one.
it. Step one.
All right. So here's the cut peppers. What type of peppers did we use, Zaida?
Ancho, poblano,
Ancho and poblano so far.
Ancho, poblano, cascabel, and pasilla.
Wow. Okay.
8 bags of each.
8 bags of each. And
We're gonna add 2 yellow onions. No, 4 yellow onions and 16 cloves of garlic.
Wow. It's gonna be spicy up in this place.
And then we're gonna have a tequila shot.
Yay!
The chilies I have been cooking for 20 minutes, and they should go at least another 10. The onions aren't quite done yet, but then we'll cook them for another 10 minutes, and then we'll let them cool down. Back to Domino's.
Wow. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
10 minutes later.
And now that we've cooked the chili peppers, all of those that I mentioned with the onions and the garlic, we're going to put them in the blender to blend them up. And then we're going to sieve them through a strainer and get a puree chili mix. And I've let these cooled off for about an hour and a half. So I'll just be dumping these in here, and I'll be back with a smoother mix. Now we're going to pulse it a couple of times. And now we're going to blend it for a while. Okay, now I can tell it's not thick enough, so we're going to go back to adding liquids. And since the chilies gave off a lot of the red chili color, I'm using the chili liquid along with chicken broth to thin out the sauce. And the sauce was pretty thick. When I took the cover off, the top of the cover, and I'll show you, has a lot of the mix on it. It almost looks like a paste. And I'll show you. So I'm going to put that back on.
And James, what's the consistency we're looking for?
Somewhere between motor oil and ketchup.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go. Motor ketchup.
I'm going to puree it now.
All right.
Let me see what the top looks like. Still looks a little
Yeah, I
thick.
think you need some more. Needs more liquid.
Okay, you want to put chicken broth in?
Yeah.
I'm going to taste it.
Uh-oh. How is it?
There we go. I'm going to do it with a different finger.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Well, what was wrong with that other finger?
Well,
She want more.
I already licked it. I don't want to re-lick my finger. And
See,
put
I would
it
have
in.
done that. I would have got.
Yeah, you don't want to lick it on the show.
You would have gotten in trouble.
Okay, so I put a little chicken broth in there.
Yep, a little more chicken broth, a little bit more
There you go.
chili water.
I think we need more chicken broth.
Yeah, because you can't put too much chili
No,
water or
no.
chicken broth in there. If it's too runny, it's okay.
More. Okay. Okay, I'm going to puree it again. Okay. Now we'll look at the lid. Oh, much better. See how runny it is?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to take a spoon now. James,
Yeah.
I need for you to get me a spoon.
Get your spoon, James. She wants to taste
Like
it.
a big spoon, little
Yeah,
spoon.
just a little spoon.
Here. Got a good color.
Okay. Now,
Good
give me,
consistency.
yeah. Oh, let me check for its runniness. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
filter that.
We can filter that. Okay, let's stop for now. Now we are taking the chili mix that we pureed, which is all of the peppers, the chili peppers, and the garlic and the onion, and we blended it in the blender, and now we poured it into strainers, and we are straining it through and getting the best part of the chili mix into the pan. You can see in the bottom of the pan that it's more of a chili, thinner mix.
Yep, much thinner.
Much thinner. And we just keep doing this until we get all of it. And then this meat mixture, you can save it to use it for something else, or you can just throw it away.
I think it'd be great. Throw it in some rice. The thick
Yeah.
like paste part of it. And
I think what it'll do is we'll save it in something.
yeah. Yeah, you can always freeze it and use it later.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we're going to press the chili mix through the screen, and you just want to kind of work it, just slowly pressing against the sides until basically you just get a drier matter left over.
It ends up to be a paste-like
Yes.
material. And then this is what the chili mix looks like. Let me show them the chili mix.
Yeah, right there.
It's just soup-like.
So
Just
guys,
what you
tastes
want.
fantastic though.
That's
Awesome.
what our chilies and our onions and our garlic look like.
Wow, awesome. So there you have it, folks. Excuse me a second. The Tamalada. So prep part one. Let's put it that way, because I know I'm gonna have people go, "That was just the sauce. Where's the rest of it? Where's the corn?" Well, you need to wait until we get part two done, which will be in November. So this sauce that they made, it really is a chili mix, and it's more of a additive to the masa. It doesn't go straight into, you just pour it on top of the food or anything like this. This actually goes into the masa, because a lot of people don't know is that the masa itself, which is a cornmeal, dough, is really just, well, I mean, it is a dough, but it's really one of the most blandest tasting doughs that I've come across. There are some sourdoughs and there are some, rye bread and stuff like that they add flavor to the dough, and so it becomes flavorful. But part of the reason why they do that is because dough itself really doesn't have much of a taste. And here again is another example, except in corn rather than flour, that is needed to add additional flavor. Now, some people don't do this, and that's fine. You don't have to. You can make the filling very, very flavorful, so that you don't need to have anything in your tamales. But some of the better ones that I've had have always had some sort of spice or something to it, like this chili mix, to the dough itself to add that little extra oomph to it. Now, I tasted that chili mix straight up by itself, and it's not as hot as you would think it looked like. For chilies, garlic, and onions, it was smooth. It was rich. It was good on the palate. It didn't overpower it or anything like that. So you're not gonna have this dough and be so whacked out from the spice itself and the hotness of it. There's really almost no hotness to it at all. You notice we didn't add jalapenos, we didn't add habaneros, we didn't add chili piquin, we didn't add anything like that. These other chilies are very low on the Scoville rating. If you know what the Scoville rating is, look it up. And also, they do add flavor to it, but they're just not very high as far as hotness goes, as far as like a habanero or anything like that. So it's not going to burn your mouth by itself, and it adds just the right amount of punch to the tamale. So it's going to be a really good one. So like I said, we're going to go out at a secret location and do part two in November. So be waiting for that. If you're interested in making your own tamales, please do some research on Google, online. If you go to places, HEB does have some good things, but if you really want some more, if you don't want to make your own masa, which let me tell you is real painful, you have to be one to really love to do it, because normally you make a lot. You don't make a pound or two and be like, okay. People make like 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds of this stuff because they're making a lot of tamales. So if you're going to get your masa pre-made, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, you might want to go somewhere like La Fiesta or something like that does a little bit more on the Spanish Mexican side of things, so to speak. HEB does do a good job, but from what Zaida and from what a few others have actually told me since I was there yesterday, La Fiesta seems to be the best place, at least in Austin. Now San Antonio, I know some people wouldn't be caught dead buying their masa pre-mixed, but if you're not going to go that route, there are some mom and pop little places around San Antonio that you could get the masa. HEB, like I said, they do a fine job, but if you want to try to get just a little bit, maybe a notch or two better, look for those places. So there you have it. Now we're going to do a quick spirit time, and then we're going to call it an episode, another episode in the bag. So I want to thank everybody, especially Zaida and James, for inviting me to their Tamalada. Many chilies were sacrificed for the chili mix. I got to take some of the chili mix home, the part that they left in the sieve, in the filter, and I'm going to use that. It's so flavorful. It reminds me of the smell I used to would be in my grandmother's house when she would make Spanish rice or Mexican rice, whatever you want to call it. I know if I can add that some of the not quite rice that I eat, and if I can add some of that flavor into it, I know it's going to be even better. So I'll let you know how that goes. And we will see part 2 in November. So let's go straight now to the only other segment in the show, and that is Spirit Times. Here's another beer that I found out at the boutique. Dark Frog Social Media presents Spirit Time. This week, Surfside. Hey everybody. I know I'm getting a lot of glare from the glasses, but I want to read what the beer is there. I can do it this way if I'm not looking up. I want to read what the beer is before we go into the drinking of it. So this is Southern Roots Brewing Company. This is their Surfside, which is a mango orange wheat ale. That's right, wheat ale. Southern Roots Brewing Company is proudly brewed and canned in Waco, Texas. So this is a 5% ABV, and I can take off my glasses now. So here's there's the Southern Roots Surfside Mango Orange Wheat Ale. So as I go around, you see it's got a really cool VW bus on there. Looks like one of the newer ones, and elongated. It's got more windows than the standard bus does. There's some birds going across it as well. Surfside. Some cool longboards, it looks like, and some palm trees. So, mango orange wheat ale. And yes, I like saying wheat. So, new glass alert. It's not new for me, but it's new for you guys. This is Breckenridge Brewery out of Colorado. So this was for their Tommy Knocker. It looks like it's Idaho Springs, Colorado, which is interesting. And there's a look at the glass real quick. I know I like to show you all the glasses. If you are a brewery or microbrewery of any sort and you'd like to donate some glasses to the cause, feel free to send them to me gratis. And reach out to me either on here or on Facebook or anywhere you know how to get a hold of me, and I'll give you my address so that you can send me some. Alright, so let's take a look at this and see what we got. Gonna pour it now. Let me see if I can get the right angle so you can see more beer than text. Well, it's definitely got a orange mango look to it, almost a pineapple in color. I don't know if I can see it. Next time I'll try to have some light behind me so you can see it. Definitely the mango and orange. It's almost like a diluted orange juice smell to it. Though on the back end there's just a bit of wheat that I can smell. Which is not a very strong smell anyway when it comes to beers like this. So, very citrusy smell-wise. I haven't tasted it yet. Not strong in any way, shape, or form, so it's not overpowering, and it doesn't punch you with orange or mango or anything like that. So, let's see what we got. Very interesting. First sip doesn't taste like mango or orange. Doesn't even have a citrus taste to it. This is where the wheat ale definitely comes in. It's really quite interesting. It's not bad at all. I thought it was going to be overpowering with mango and orange in the taste of it. It wasn't in the smell, but I thought for sure it'd be the taste. But you can't even taste either of those, in my opinion. Let me try another sip here. No, quite a tasty wheat beer. Really good in my opinion. wheat ale, wheat. I don't get the orange or mango at all, so I know it adds to the aroma, but it doesn't seem to add to the taste. But it's a good, sturdy, average wheat ale. I'm gonna go ahead and give this 7 thumbs up. 7 thumbs up for this beer. So thank you, Brewtique, as always, for providing the beers that I find. And if Surfside, if you would like to contest the 7 thumbs up and think it deserves more, then feel free to reach out to me here on this show, and I can get one of your representatives on the show, and we can talk about it, and maybe you can bring us some of your other beers as well, and we can try it out and have a good old-fashioned tasting. So once again, that was Southern Roots out of Waco, and this is their mango orange wheat ale. Thanks a lot. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for another episode of Javier in the Air. So if you want to comment, thoughts, suggestions, please feel free to comment off of this episode or any of the other episodes you've watched, or if you'd like to go back in the archives. You especially might want to go back in the archives so you can see the original Tamalada that Zaida did for us. And it was one of the, if not the most watched episodes that I've ever made. So if you want to go watch it again, please do. Like I said, we'll be watching phase 2, part 2 of this in November. We'll be making a video for that, maybe even have some live segments off of the Facebook page. And if you would like to be on the show, just let me know. Only 2 topics are banned. Everything else is up for the air. Or up for grabs, depending on how you want to call it. So if you'd like to be on the show, or you'd like to have something that you'd like to see on the show, please feel free and let me know. So next week we should be back to a regular show. Nothing special on that one, though everything is special. But if everything is special, then nothing is special. So you know what I'm talking about. So I will see everybody again next week. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see you then. Thanks a lot, everyone.